Hi, Christine. We do have a couple questions here. So one of the questions was, can you delete that short video that appears in the stream? Let's say you record a meeting and you don't want it to appear there any longer. Can we delete that?
Yep, you absolutely can. So you can't delete the fact that there was a meeting. So the stream is sort of like a track record of everything that's happened inside of the team. So it's just kind of keeping log of things. But if you don't want the video to be there anymore, you absolutely can delete it. And I'll show you how to do that right now before we go into that pre-record. Was there any other questions, Nikki?
Yeah, we also had another question. Is there a reason why sometimes when you're in a live meeting that the chat feature might not be available?
That's a good question, and I'm not sure about that. My initial thought is that it would probably be something in the admin settings. So something that maybe your administrators don't want people chatting, so they've turned off that feature. So if you're encountering that, I would reach out to admin. You could also go onto the Microsoft support page and just see if there's any known issues. So sometimes you might find that you're having issues with something. Like, for example, when I was doing tests for this course the other day, I was having issues getting my videos to load up. And you just, go and see if there's a known issue. They might be working on something or have temporarily stopped, some sort of functionality because they're, adding new features or fixing a bug or something like that. So that could be the case as well. So my best suggestion to you is to, number one, check with your admin to see if that feature has been disabled, and to, number two, check with Microsoft support to see if there's known issues. I could also look into it for you as well. So I'll talk with Nikki later and we'll get your name and all that. And I'll reach out to you if I find any good answers for you. But thank you, that's a really good question. All right, let's head over to the computer and take a look at that one question and then our pre-records. Okay, so we're going to head back into the team, and let's take a look at how to delete something. So if you, let's see, that's actually that's a PowerPoint. Let's scroll up to where I have an example. I think I have an example here. Yeah, okay, so I have an example here of a call that I pre-recorded, and you can see that this video did actually load in for me. And if I wanted to delete it, you can see that there's this ellipsis, this three-dot menu, right inside the little video box that pops up. If I click on this, what I'm going to need to do is I'm going to actually need to open it in the stream. So Microsoft Stream is sort of another Microsoft app, and it has a lot more functionality. It's basically how you control all of these posts. So I can go ahead and open it in the stream, and it'll open it for me. And this is, of course, going to be associated with my Microsoft account. I think I already removed this video, but let's go home. Or actually, let's go to my content and see what videos I have on here. Yeah, okay, so here I have some videos loaded, and let's just use this one as an example video right here. So this is like a screencast. And if I go over here, you can see that I can update the video details, I can add to different groups and channels, I can add it to a watch list, and if I click the ellipsis, right, the three dots again, you'll see there's options here to share, replace, delete. I can even trim my videos in here, so it has very limited editing features. You really can only trim the beginning and the ending. You can't trim in the middle, but it's better than nothing. You can also download from here, so if you wanted to save this and use it elsewhere, like, in some other program or something like that, you can do that. But if I wanted to delete, I would just click delete here. So you do need to go outside of Teams to do it, but it doesn't really take very long, so no big deal. But yeah, you can delete any video that you post in that way. And of course, you have to be the owner of the video to do that. Students won't be able to delete it. All right, so let's quickly take a look at that record function inside the meeting. So I'm going to go back up to Meet. Right, remember, in the top right corner, and I'm just going to choose Meet now. I'm going to turn off my camera and my microphone so we don't get any feedback. So now I'm in a meeting, right? And then down here, this three-dot menu is what you're going to click, and you'll see Start Recording. So this will record anything that's on the screen. So if your video's up, it's going to record your video. If you are sharing your screen, it's going to show the shared screen. So let's actually quickly share something so that we can see what it looks like. So this is the share. And you'll see you have lots of options here. You can screen share what's actually on your computer, your desktop, or a singular window in your desktop. So if you're on a website or something like that, you can share it. You can also share documents saved to your OneDrive, such as PowerPoint documents will come up as a suggestion. So here's a daily message examples. I have different presentations that I can share, right? Or you can share a whiteboard, things like that. So you can go through here and see your options. I'm just going to choose one thing to share, just to show what it looks like. And it's going to take a minute to load up. There we go. And then once it does, I can go into this menu. I can start recording. And you'll see at the top, you'll get a notification that you're recording. You can deliver your daily message here. And then once you are finished recording, all you would need to do is go back to this three-dot menu and choose Stop Recording. You'll confirm that. And then it will stop the recording. And you'll see up at the top here, it says recording is being saved, right? And it will need to process, so please be a little bit patient for it to show up in the stream. And when you're done with your meeting, you can once again hang up by clicking the hang up button, and you'll see that my meeting was 1 minute and 47 seconds long, and you could see here that I did have a recording. It is not actually up yet, right? It's saving the recording currently, and it probably won't pop up for the rest of this actual session that we're in right now, but it will pop up in about an hour or so. So like I said, please do be patient with that. So the other way to do this is to actually use a different program. This way you can prep a lot of material ahead of time, and then you only have to worry about quickly posting that material. So I did have an example for you guys here as a PowerPoint. You can record using PowerPoint. You could also use another sort of screencasting software like Screencast-O-Matic or something like that. So I just wanted to show you guys one more example of a daily message, and this is that would you rather message that I mentioned before.
So would you rather be able to fly or breathe underwater? Think about it carefully. To answer your daily message question, answer in your class notebook under the Daily Messages tab. Use today's date, August 19th, as the heading. You're going to explain your answer, so I would rather breathe underwater or I would rather fly, and then explain your reasoning. So why did you choose what you did? This assignment will count towards a participation grade. Feel free to discuss your answers with your classmates to get a better idea of where you might stand. Enjoy your would you rather.
Okay, so that is an example of a would you rather daily message using PowerPoint. And as you can see, I just did the voiceover and I had some visuals on the screen. So that's one option that you can use. And you saw there, I did model for you guys some ways that you can incorporate other parts of Teams. So for example, using the class notebook in order to record responses, right? And I had a daily messages tab built into my student notebook. So something that you might want to consider if you are going to be doing daily messages is just making a section dedicated to that for students is never a bad idea. So let's head back to our team, and that is our pre-record. And you could see that I just posted that directly into the stream right up here, right? I made it a little title, and then I just linked this file, and simple as that, right? So pretty easy way to do daily messages if you have the time the night before to post. All right, let's head back to our presentation and take a look at our very last idea that I had for you guys today. And I'd just like to thank those two people that did ask questions for before when we were talking. So if you guys have any more questions, please let us know. So our last idea is scheduled. So you can actually schedule something under assignment. So like I mentioned before, you can't actually schedule a post, but you can schedule an assignment. So if you wanted to, you could make this an assignment daily for students or even weekly for students. And that is sort of one way to go about it. You can also choose to not have a grade for assignments, so it doesn't need to be something that's like super official or, you know, high pressure for students, right? And you can, of course, with assignments, you can attach different documents and videos and, include screencasts or PowerPoints or anything that you want to your assignments. So it is really a good option for you doing your daily messages. So let's head back into our teams. And we are going to show you how to do an assignment. So if you guys aren't familiar, your assignments are up here inside your team. And you can see I already have some assignments here, but to create a new one, you just click on this Create button. And you can choose Assignment, Quiz, or From Existing. I'm going to choose Assignment. And it'll open this up. And let's say it's Daily Message for, let's make it tomorrow. And then you can enter your instructions here. I did have something preloaded that I'm just going to paste in there. So this is my PBL class. So as part of this imaginary class that I'm teaching, they're doing some food science and talking about nutrition. So here's an example of how you can do sort of a content-based daily message. So you kind of want to put students in the mindset of what they're doing. So I have here, good morning, food scientists, right? Like right off the bat, I'm saying like, you guys are the expert. Let's get involved in what we're doing. Let's jump right into it. Right? And then I have some instructions here on what they're going to be doing, so a list. So why do you think nutrition has changed so much over time? What about nutritional science makes it hard to find answers? And then did everyone in your group agree? What were some interesting parts of the discussion? So I'm building in, peer collaboration here. They're talking in groups, right? So they're going to put their thinking caps on, discuss, and then submit final answers individually. And then I'm giving them the document title name. So I'm being very specific with my instructions here. I could also, if I wanted to, add a resource. Oh my goodness. Add a resource, right, over here of myself actually delivering this daily message via some sort of screencast or using my webcam if I wanted to. Or I could just keep it simple and just post this. Down here in the grades, I'm actually going to do no points because I don't want this to be an actual assignment that's graded. It's more of an informal thing just to get the day started. And then down here, where we have the due date, is really the important part that I want you guys to focus on. So of course you can assign it to your class, you can assign it to all students or individual students, and then we have due date here is going to be due on the day that the daily message is occurring. But then down here, if I didn't want to post this today, if I didn't want this to be posted actually until tomorrow, I can go down here to this edit and I can pre-schedule posts. So let's click edit underneath the due date. And it's going to pop up with this dialog box. And up at the top, you'll see schedule to assign in the future. So you want to check this off. And the post date that I'm going to choose is the day of the daily message. So you could do this well in advance. You could do this for the whole next week, the whole next month if you wanted to. And you can even choose a post time as well. So if I click in here, let's say I want to post this at 8 a.m. tomorrow, right? And then the due date is going to be, let's say I want them to be done by 10 a.m. tomorrow, right? And do I want to have a close date? I'm just going to leave that blank for now, but you could say you're not going to be accepting it after a certain time or date, and then click done. And then you'll see up here, instead of save or assign, it is changed to schedule, right? So when I click this, students aren't going to see the assignment right now as they would if I just wanted to post it. They're going to see it when I want them to see it, which is tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock. They'll get a notification, hey, you guys have an assignment. So that is a pretty awesome feature. You can also discard or just save it as a draft if you wanted to, but I'm going to click schedule, and we're going to schedule it. And you'll see it's now popped up right here inside my assignments. And let's go back to our posts in our stream. And it didn't pop up in the stream here. Why is that? Because it's not supposed to. Because it is actually not going to pop up there until tomorrow morning. So it worked just as it is supposed to work. So that is sort of your third way of doing that. Alrighty, let's hop back into our presentation and take a look at what is next. So we did go over these 3 different methods that I have here for you. The first one being doing something live by scheduling a meeting with your students. You can do some pre-records, either using the record function in a Teams meeting or using some other software, and then you can post directly into the Teams stream. And the final way is to actually schedule it as an assignment without a grade, and you can use that scheduling post feature for assignments so that it won't be posted until the actual day that the daily message occurs. So it's not necessarily the most obvious stuff, but there are some pretty easy workarounds in Teams to sort of make this work for whatever you want to be doing with your daily messages, whether you want it to be a little bit more fun, like the Would You Rather, or a little bit more serious, like giving the students an assignment based on the content that you're currently teaching them. So let's just now go over where you can find some more examples and resources. So if you look down below the video, you'll see some tabs. One of them says Files and Links, right? If you click on that, you'll see listed on the side all of these files and links. Don't panic, this is just an example slide. These are not the files and links that you'll see below. You'll see ones that are appropriate for the actual course that you watched today, so please go check them out. I have included the Teams course, so if you're not super familiar with Teams, it goes a little bit more into depth there, so I would recommend watching that, as well as some other ideas for different things that you can do. So I'd like to thank everybody so much for joining us today. It was great having you all here. I hope that you guys learned something interesting about using daily messages and Teams. And like I mentioned before, if you have any additional ideas, please reach out to us in the discussion box below. If you have questions at any time, just click that Ask OTIS button that you see on the screen and somebody will help you out. And as always, don't forget to complete the quiz and the survey at the end if you want to receive credit for the course. I'd like to thank Nikki for moderating for us today.
Of course.
Yes. And I'd like to thank Brian for working his magic behind the camera. From all of us here at Tech, stay safe and have a great day.